Hello everyone, this is Gabatron Gaming back with part 6 of the Clicker tutorial. In this video we will be learning how to make a level ball, and I already have the level overlay and the level meter sprite here. This is what we're going to be using in this video. As you see, the level overlay is basically just the black ball that goes over the level ball, and it has this code in it that basically says when green flag clicked, show, wait 0 seconds, go front, and go to this coordinate, which is basically just the top of the screen. And this is pretty simple. This is just to get set up. You can add this in with your own level ball. Although you don't really need it, you could just drag the overlay on top. You don't have to have this code. It is helpful though if you accidentally move it and you need to set it back to where it needs to go. Same thing for a level meter. It just has go front layer, go the same coordinates, and then switch to costume 0. This is my level ball. I have a related short on how to make this. So basically it has different sprites that are filling the ball up more and more. There are 10 of them. Actually, it only goes up to 9 because the first one's 0, but there are 10 of them. Basically what you need to make them, because it's not mentioned in the short, you basically just need an empty one and then all the way up to like a 9 out of 10th filled level ball, and you need them to be numbered accordingly. So like this one's 0, this one's 1, and so on. Also, so the variables and this little UI we made aren't in the way. I am actually going to move them down. You can do the same on your game if you haven't already moved this down in a previous video. And now I'm basically just going to show you how to make the level ball and what it's going to do. So the first thing we're going to need to do is we are going to go into the numbers sprite, and we are going to change this number right here. If you don't remember from the previous video, this this less than statement with the critical chance and 98 basically says that there is a 2% chance that you get a critical number. We're going to change this, so instead of just having a set 2% chance, is actually going to be dependent on what level you are. So we are going to change this code into a different operator, which will be minus sign. We are going to write 100 here. This is basically just so if you're like level 0, there's pretty much no chance of you getting a critical hit or critical number. Then we are going to add a new variable for this, which is going to be level. So let me just type that in. Level. There we go. We are going to add that in. We're going to hit the check mark so it doesn't show up on screen. And then we are going to drag it in here. Actually, don't hit the check mark. Let's actually move this for now just so you can see it like under a level ball, just so we know what level we are for now. And then once you have this minus statement here, we are simply going to put that on top of the 98. So it basically says if I'm level 0, I have a 0% chance that when I click is going to give me a critical hit. And if I'm level 1, then it's going to give me a 1% chance. If I'm level 2, it's going to give me 2%, and so on. We are also going to drag this and put it into the plus sprite as well, because the same thing needs to be done there. We're just going to drag this over the 98. Okay, now we've done that, there are a few things we need to do onto the level meter sprite so the level system actually works. This isn't going to be too complicated of a video, although you do have to pay attention because there are a lot of variables that are going to be interacting. So let's set up those variables before we actually start. We already have the level variable for what level we are. Now we need the level ball variable. This is basically just to track how much the level ball is filled up. Once we've done that, we can hide that. And then we're going to make a new variable called clicks. Do not mix this up with your other variable like money per click or money per second. This is purely going to be to track how many times you've clicked, purely to change your level. So we're not going to use it anywhere else. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we got to set these guys to a set variable when a game starts, so it resets when we restart the game. So we're going to set clicks is going to be a first variable. We're going to set that as 0. Then we're going to do level bar, which we're going to set to 0, and we're going to set level to 1. That is just so we start at level 1 when we start the game, and we can hit the green flag, and once it loads, we'll see that the level is set to 1. Give it a second. It's actually taking a long time. There you go. Okay, so as you see, we're level 1 now, and that's just how it's gonna be whenever we click the green flag, aka start the game. Okay, now let's set up the actual code. Again, the code isn't that complicated, but there are gonna be a lot of variables interacting. So we are going to bring out a when I receive clicked, which is, again, if you forgot, sent by the coin sprite when we click it. So when I received click, we are going to have this show, just in case it's not showing. And then we are going to go over to the variables and bring out a change clicks by 1. What this does basically is it sets up the click variable, so when we click this, the clicks go up by 1. Now what we're going to do is we are going to drag out an if-then statement, and this is where it's going to get a little bit complicated, so pay attention. So we're going to grab an if-then, not an if-then else. We're going to grab an if-then, okay? Once you've done that, we are going to set up a very long operator. So what this is going to do is basically going to change how filled the level bar is. So we are going to grab a more than. We're going to go into variables, grab clicks, drop that into the blank circle. Then we are going to drag out a times and a second times. Drag the second times into the first times empty circle like that, and then write a 2 here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to grab the variables level bar and level and put those into the second times operator. Then once we've done that, we're simply going to insert it into the empty spot where it was a 50, and then put that into if then. What this is going to do is basically what it says is this something, whatever is in here, will happen once we've clicked the coin more than the level bar, how much it's filled up, times what level we are, times 2. So for a quick example, if the level bar, let me go switch the costume real quick just for this example. If the level bar is filled up to level bar 3 and we are level 1, then that will mean we will have to click this 3 times 1, which is 3, times 2. So we will have to click the coin 6 times, and then whatever is in this if-then statement will happen. In this case, we're going to set up that it simply goes up to the 4 out of 10 of the ball filled. So to do that, we are going to drag out a no set variable. We're going to set clicks to 0 because basically what we want us to do is once we've clicked enough times for us to fill up the level bar more, we want it to set back to 0 so we can track that again. Then we are going to grab an if-then statement. Sorry, if-then else. Put that if-then else statement below the set clicks to 0. Then we're going to go back into operators and we're going to grab an equal sign and put it in there. And then we're going to go into variables and we're going to grab the level bar, put it in there, and then set this equal 9. What this is going to do is if the level bar is filled up 9 out of 10 of the spaces and we've clicked enough times to level up again, it's going to do something, which in this case we're going to have it restart and give us an extra level. Otherwise, it's just going to fill up a little bit more normally. So to set this up, it's actually pretty easy from here. We just drag our set, a change there, and then in the else, another change. And we're going to set this to level bar, which is going to be 0, change level, and we're going to keep that 1, and then the else is going to be change level ball. If you click enough, your level will go up at this point, but it's not changing the UI. This is because I forgot to add the switch to costume. And then what we're going to do is switch to costume. We're going to go down until we see letter 1 of level ball. What this will do is it will basically just switch to whatever the level ball variable is. And since we've named each of the sprites a number, like just a single number, is going to switch to them. Because, for example, if level ball is 2, like the variable is 2 in this case, then it should switch to sprite 2, which is this one, because it's named 2. So as you see, now we add that, it is actually filling up correctly. And if we keep clicking, as you see, after a required amount of clicks, you will see it goes up, and it's gonna take a little bit more clicks each time to go up from the last. I'm just gonna click until we level up, which will take a few clicks. We're almost there. This should be a last one. Okay, so as you see, when it hits the end, we get a new level and it restarts. And that's basically how level ball works. Because of the code we add to the critical chance numbers, the numbers should have a 1% chance of getting a critical now. As you see, there you go. We got one there if you saw. It's going to be a very low chance since we're only level 2. To test that it is in fact working, we can change our level. So I'm just going to set the level to, I don't know, something high. So let's change it like just 65. Okay, so set level 65. I would now be level 65, and as you see, critical chances are popping up like crazy. They are very common. My game is lagging, but as you see, it's a lot easier to get critical chances, and this shows that our code is in fact working. That's it for today. In the next video, I will be setting up a shop, so stay tuned for that. Other than that, have fun coding, Scratchers, and peace out.